My professor paired me with the one student everyone refused to work with. By the end of the semester, I understood why she always worked alone. Professor Wicken assigned partners randomly. When he read my name with Jenna's, I heard someone behind me whisper, R.I.P. My roommate elbowed me. Dude, you got Jenna. I knew Jenna by reputation only. The girl nobody wanted to work with. Not because she was lazy. The opposite. She was too intense, too demanding, too everything. Rumors said she'd made a girl cry during a presentation rehearsal. That she rewrote an entire group paper the night before it was due because she didn't trust her partners. That she once reported someone for plagiarism on their shared project because they used a source incorrectly. People called her the perfectionist behind her back. Some called her worse things. I found her after class. She was packing up her bags slowly, like she was in no rush to talk to anyone. Hey, I'm Caesar. Guess we're partners. She looked at me with zero warmth. I know who you are. I'll send you a project timeline tonight. Clear your schedule for Friday. We need to meet. Friday works. I don't do group projects like most people. I need you to actually try. Can you do that? It sounded like an insult. I almost walked away, but something in her eyes looked less like arrogance and more like exhaustion. Yeah, I can do that. She wasn't exaggerating about the schedule. We met every Wednesday and Friday at 6 p.m. She had agendas printed out. Actual agendas. With bullet points and time allocations. The first few weeks were brutal. I'd send her a draft and she'd return it covered in comments. Not mean ones, just relentless. This paragraph doesn't support your thesis. Source is outdated. Find something from the last 2 years. Your conclusion restates the intro. Push the analysis further. I started dreading her emails, but I also started getting better. By week 4, my drafts were coming back with fewer comments. By week 6, she actually said, "This is good," about one of my sections. I should have been relieved. Instead, I started noticing things. She always wore the same rotation of 3 sweaters. She never bought coffee at our meetings, just water from the fountain. One night, I suggested grabbing food after our session. She said she wasn't hungry, but I'd heard her stomach growling for the last hour. I started paying attention. She was always in the library, morning, afternoon, night. I once saw her there at 1 a.m. on a Saturday. Same table, same stack of books, same exhausted look in her eyes. One Friday, she showed up late for the first time ever. Her eyes were red. I asked if she was okay. "I'm fine. Let's just work." "Jenna," I said, "I'm fine." We worked in silence for an hour. Then out of nowhere, she said, "I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be difficult. I just can't afford to mess this up." I stopped typing. "Can't afford to mess this up how?" She was quiet for a long time. I thought she wasn't going to answer. Then she started talking, slowly, like every word cost her something. "I'm here on a full scholarship. Academic merit. It covers everything. Tuition, books, housing, food. That's amazing. It requires a 4.0. I blinked. A 4.0? Like exactly? Exactly. Not 3.98, not 3.99. A perfect 4.0 or I lose it all. She rubbed her eyes. I've maintained it for 3 years. 3 years of never sleeping, never relaxing, never trusting anyone to do their part of a group project because if they screw up, I pay for it. I finally understood. The schedules, the rewrites, the relentless standards. It wasn't arrogance. It was survival. My parents cleaned offices to get me here. My mom still works nights. My dad drives for Uber on weekends. They think I'm living the dream. Her voice cracked. I can't tell them I'm drowning. I thought about every person who'd complained about her, every partner who'd called her crazy or controlling. None of them knew. None of them bothered to ask. Why didn't you ever tell anyone? Because then they'd pity me. Or they'd think I was making excuses. It's easier to just be the difficult one. At least that way I'm in control. She looked at me for the first time all night. "You're the first person who ever asked if I was okay." We got an A on the project. When the grade posted, she texted me a single word. "Thanks." I texted back. "Same time next semester?" She didn't respond for an hour. Then, "You'd actually want to work with me again?" "Yeah, I would." She's still the most intense person I know. But now when people say RIP to her new partners, I just laugh. They have no idea how lucky they are.